Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got a brand new story to share with you. So let's begin. Pretty much certain my wife of 13 years is cheating and our marriage is on the serious fritz. We have 2 wonderful kids. My heart is broken and I'm not sure what to do. Should I see an attorney? This is a really long story, so I will try to keep it as organized as I can, as there are lots of details that I think are important. But I'll start at the beginning. About a year ago, I had growing suspicions that something was going on with my wife. She was just acting odd around me and guarding her phone. When she was in the shower, I heard her phone ding, and I did something I now regret. I snooped. What I found were DMs between her and a tour guide from a recent girls' trip she had gone on. Funny enough, she had actually met the tour guide when we were on a family trip to the same destination. The DMs were bordering on sexting, discussing fantasies, and certainly very flirtatious. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and as she walked out of the bathroom, I immediately confronted her. "Who is this?" We ended up having a long discussion or fight. She said it was never physical. Nothing had happened between them in that way. I believe her. She also said she has not been happy with our sex life for years. Basically the entire time we've been married. I actually agree in part. Our sexual life has always been relatively infrequent or sporadic. Not when we were first dating, but definitely since we had kids, who are now 8 and 10. I had always blamed this on being tired or busy and had sort of accepted it. She, on the other hand, took this personally, saying that I didn't want her, I wasn't attracted to her, and that it was a major blow to her self-worth, and that's why she had turned to someone else. I had no idea she felt that way, and I thought our relationship had simply changed, that my affection and love for her were shown through my actions as a father, of which I am a very good one, to be honest, and as a provider. I have been the sole provider for the family for 8 years and have been holding down the fort for 3 years while my wife has returned to get her graduate degree. For the record, I do and always have found her very beautiful. When I told her this, she said she believed me but that she didn't believe. Basically, I desired her. She said in 90% of ways we had an ideal relationship, but the 10% that is our sex life is terrible and driving her away. I was crying and emotional. She was not. At one point, I asked her if she still loved me, and she said, "Yes, but it's getting harder." This led me to admit to her some sexual trauma I had in my past, something I had never told her, and actually had never told anyone, because I believed I had put it behind me. But in light of all of this, I thought maybe it had been affecting me in ways I didn't realize. For additional context, I was a virgin when I met my wife. I grew up in a pretty Catholic household and went to Catholic schools my whole life. While I didn't purposefully choose abstinence, it sort of just happened. I dated a ton growing up and had plenty of other sexual encounters. It just never ended in the full deed. So sexually, I am definitely not the most enlightened. This, combined with some body insecurity over the weight I've gained, I think makes me a bit uncomfortable with sex. As our sexual life sputtered, I was more comfortable burying the issue than confronting it. This obviously was a huge mistake. The fact that I didn't reveal my hang-ups and past trauma caused her to say I had lied to her, and that she couldn't trust me. I don't think it's particularly fair to blame me for not wanting to talk about a terrible thing that happened to me, but maybe she was right. She was also very mad at me for snooping on her phone. I know this was a violation of trust. I was willing to take this. At the end of this confrontation that occurred over several days, I agreed to go into therapy. She pretty much laid the whole issue at my feet as a me issue and left it for me to solve. She never apologized for her infidelity in the DMs. Months later, when we were having another disagreement about it, I brought that up and she said, "Because I don't think I did anything wrong." That was devastating to me. I was ready to take the blame for driving her away and not being the sexual partner she needed, but the fact she didn't seem to take any responsibility at all for doing something I deem a major wrong was shocking to me. When she said that, I literally didn't know how to respond and just said, "Wow, that is shocking." And the conversation pretty much ended. Since then, things have been bad. I went to probably 8 therapy sessions but became demotivated by the fact this wasn't a collaborative effort and I was being seen as the problem. We have not slept in the same bed for probably 8 months. I sleep in the guest room. We haven't had any sexual contact in a year and have probably hugged or kissed a dozen times in that period, always initiated by me, always awkward. I still try to say I love you, but she often ignores it, or if she does say it, she says it half-heartedly. I don't think she's said it first in probably 6 months. We used to say, I love you, every time we left to go anywhere. Not anymore. This has made me not even want to say it because it just hurts when she ignores it or says it like it's sticking in her jaw. Over the last few months, she has been getting increasingly distant and going out with friends more and more. I will spare you the long details, but there are huge signs she is cheating, secret lingerie purchases, going on birth control to control her period after never being on BC before, despite the fact I had a vasectomy, and more. They could be explained away, but it would take a massive disassociation of logic to do so. I am 98% sure she is having an affair with one specific person who I've met a couple of times. I have only told one person about any of this, my college roommate, and he agrees she is almost certainly cheating. I do not have concrete proof, like a photo of them together or something, but the circumstantial evidence is pretty damning. She had told me before that she had cheated on several boyfriends when she was in college. I always viewed cheating as a total non-starter, but she basically said it's not like they were married, so I figured it wouldn't come into play with us. Apparently not so much. If kids weren't involved, I would have already confronted her, and I'd probably be on my way out the door. But that's the huge issue. We have 2 incredible kids, 8 and 10 years old. As a family unit, we function wonderfully. She's an amazing mother to them, and they adore her. They also adore me, and I'm a great person. Super involved in their lives, and I love them with every fiber of my soul. These kids are simply the best. Kind, caring, smart, and so funny. I am terrified to do anything to change their light. They are thriving, and I don't want to disrupt that. I can't explain how much these children mean to me, and the thought of not seeing them every single day absolutely breaks my heart. The thought of hurting them in any way is unimaginable. What in the world do? I find myself avoiding her when the kids aren't around because I don't want to confront this issue. When we are in public or with friends or family, you would never even know we are having problems. The one friend who I confided in was absolutely shocked to hear any of this. From the outside, we are a perfect couple and the perfect family. And there are also plenty of times at home when we are great, even when it's just the 2 of us. We do things as a family, and we laugh and have a wonderful time. It makes my heart ache to think that this is all just going away. To make it worse, I do still love her. She is an amazing woman in many, many ways. But then I think of what she's doing, and it makes me so angry. And I know that she would blame me for driving her to do this, for not changing, for not solving this. I could keep going on like this, but for how long? I don't know what to do. I haven't confronted her because I know when I do, there is no going back. If she's cheating, then what? If she's actually not, I would be very surprised. Also, then what? Should I be meeting with an attorney? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.